Philippines through the years. The views and opinions expressed in this video are personal stands of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
When talking about identity, I would position myself in the old view, which is there is such thing as a true Filipino, either in the remote past or far into the future, but never in the present.
Since you choose to put yourself into the old view of identity, what is your stand on the statement?
I would very much agree in this statement because, first, we have ancestors in the past, during the time of the colonizers, who fought and sacrificed their lives for our country, and that's patriotism. Second, the natives who lived and was raised in the Philippines are none other than the Filipinos. Even though the Filipinos who work abroad and migrated to other country doesn't make them less of a Filipino. Next, Filipinos who appreciate the cultures from around the world is still a true Filipino. Lastly, a person whose parents are both Filipino is literally a true Filipino by blood.
What is your opinion on the new view of identity?
That new perception about identity that states there is no such thing as a true Filipino. For me, that statement will never be true. There is a true Filipino, but there will never be a perfect Filipino.
Your preferences and relationship goals will define your sexual orientation. Some people still cling to the antiquated practice of concealing the real sexual orientation due to the potential for discrimination and the societal expectation that we should only be attracted to those who are of the opposite sex. People that identify as LGBTQIA+ and heterosexual are now becoming more prevalent, and they are the groups that would normally support sexuality, diversity, and pride. My point is that in the present, we have the freedom to express who we truly are and how we feel, and that people are more of accepting one another's sexual orientation because of the unbias that exists now. In contrast to the previous practice that we need to obey on what the society tells us, we are unable to embrace ourselves fully and freely. Today, people may now express themselves fully and without fear because of this.
In politics, we will position ourselves in the new over the old, the liberal democracy, the 1987 Constitution. A message that we will give to our fellow Filipinos regarding the politics is actually our insights or what you need to know. Sovereignty resides in the people and the all-governing authority emanates from them.
Somehow, we could say na karon, the 1987 Philippine Constitution is the mother of all the laws, which provided that civilian authority is at all times supreme over the military. It is also provided that the armed forces of the Philippines is the protector of the people and the state. Kumbaga, it assures the freedom of speech, of expression, or the rights of the people in the country. In other words, karon jud or in 1987's Constitution, liberal democracy frames the promotion of social justice as a commitment to create equality, reduce political inequalities, and gipahalagahan jud ang human rights under the law over the past itself, na is a type of government which a single person has the absolute power to rule the country. On the other hand, sa old politics, which is the strong leader in the governor, or that of a dictator, the strong man, is like the country rule with fierce and which is powerful unta, pero if the government manage or the dictator itself manage to assure the human rights among the people in the country, and I think it is a good way na dayon on how people try to better the country all the way to present.
Conclusion.
So with all that being said, I would say that Philippines have been through a lot in the past, which affects how it views things like identity, sex, and politics. As we all know, that Philippines have been colonized by different countries. Like it has been colonized by Spain, America, and Japanese, which I would say is a very big factor of how it creates its idea of how it views things like what I've said, identity, sex, and politics. And I would say that regardless of which you would prefer or how we prefer to view politics, identity, and sex, whether it's the old view or the new view, I would say that even with the formation of these views is influenced by what it's been through in the past. So I would say that the most important thing in here is that we should um learn from what we've been through, grow through what we've been through, and because we cannot just stick with this one idea of this is how we view politics, this is how we view sex, this is how we view identity, because of the fact that the only thing that is constant in this world is change, and the only thing we can do with that is cope and learn from it and do better for the upcoming years or for the betterment of our future. So I would, I'm not saying that the old view or the new view is better, but what I can say is change is inevitable and there's nothing that we can do about it, and let's just learn from what we go through and cope with it. Given the fact that history is like chismes, so we cannot really say which is better. It's either the past or the present, but the only thing that we can do with that is carry the lessons that we've learned from all the things that happened, and yeah, hope for the best and learn from everything that we have been through and carry all those things with us for us to do better in the future.